today's video, we are chatting all about the fall and winter shoe essentials that I would recommend for a timeless wardrobe. These will never go out of style. I'm going to walk you through how to choose the right shoes for your personal style, different textures and materials that you can go for, pros and cons of them. So if you are on the market for some fall shoes, this will be your ultimate guide. So I went through my wardrobe and pulled out the fall shoe staples that I would recommend for anyone's wardrobe. And I will also round up some options for you down in the description box below. Starting off with some comfortable flat options that will both work in your work wardrobe, but also can be dressed down, styled with jeans and things like that during the fall and winter season. Two styles come to top of mind, either a ballet flat or a loafer. I would also consider a mule style in the mix. However, I wouldn't say mules necessarily work in the winter season. Mules or shoes without a back work really great for transitional months. So in between winter to spring and summer to fall, because they don't have as much foot coverage. So they work really great with that in-between weather when it's not too cold or not too warm, and you can transition between those time periods. If your style is more feminine, then I would recommend going with a ballet flat. Ballet flats are definitely a trendy option right now. However, I would consider them very much a classic. You could also lean into the trends if you prefer to go trendier with your looks. I, however, tend to stick with classic timeless styles. That's just my personal choice. But if you're wanting something trendier, Mary Janes, things with T-straps and styles like that would be an option to consider. And something else we can chat through is how to figure out when to save versus splurge on different pieces. So I'll kind of round that up at the end if you are curious on my take on that. A ballet flat like this can be styled with dresses, short or long, skirt short or long, and also pants like jeans or even workwear and office attire. If your style tends to lean a little bit more masculine, for example, say you love wearing blazers and more business casual type of outfits, then I would recommend going for a loafer like this. You cannot go wrong with this style. These are so comfortable, and anytime someone DMs me asking for a comfortable work flat, this is always the style I recommend. They are extremely comfortable right out of the box. They have really great support, and they come in a variety of color options. So if you're wanting something a little trendier, you can do a fun color or texture. And they do also have some really great classic options like this nude color as well. You can style these shoes the exact same way you can style ballet flats. They work great with jeans and dresses. And these options also make for really great comfortable travel shoes too. I wore these in London, and you always need a good flat. Next, let's talk about boots. Knee-high boots are my personal favorite shoe to wear during fall and winter. And there are so many different types and styles to consider. So let's talk through how to choose the right knee-high boot. So the first thing to consider is the type of material that your boot is made out of. If you are looking for something that is more durable, especially if you are investing a little bit more money in a pair and you want something that will last more than 2 or 3 seasons, I would definitely go for a leather version, especially more genuine leathers if you can find those. But I do really love suede options as well, because I find that these are very versatile with styling. I like to add in that suede texture when it comes to fall and winter styling, especially if I'm wearing a leather skirt, for example. It's nice to mix up the texture with a suede option. However, with suede, it's not going to be as durable. You definitely cannot wear it in the rain, and they are going to mark up a little bit easier. The next thing to consider is the toe shape. This goes for any shoe, so if you're also torn on what to do for flats, the same thing applies. If you are wanting to make your foot appear smaller, then I would go for a rounded toe or an almond-shaped toe like this one. I do also think this toe shape leans into a more timeless option, but if you're wanting to lengthen your legs, then go with a pointed option like this. Typically when it comes to sizing, you're supposed to get your normal size with pointed or round-toed shoes, because they are supposed to accommodate for that toe shape when it comes to the design. And definitely consider sizing when it comes to boots. I personally can be an 8.5 or a 9, and I do usually always purchase my boots in a size 9 just because I find them to be more comfortable. During fall and winter, it's cooler, so you may want to layer a thicker sock. I just find closed-toed shoes, especially like this with a heel, to be a little bit more comfortable if I do size up a half size as well. To make sure you have the right fit, you just want to make sure that your heel isn't lifting up too much. It's okay to lift up a teeny bit, because you want a little bit of movement, especially as you wear them. Your feet are going to swell, so that is something to consider, but you don't want your heel to be lifting up more than, I would say, an inch in the back. The next thing to consider is the heel. So if you're wanting something dressier, go with a skinnier heel like this one. And if you want something more comfortable, easier to walk in, then look for a thicker blocked heel like this. And then lastly, you're gonna wanna consider the quality of the materials. If it's in your budget, I would always recommend going for more genuine leathers. They're just gonna be more comfortable, they'll last longer, and I find that faux leathers like this one can get a little sweatier because they're just not as breathable. When it comes to styling knee-high boots, my go-to combination is definitely with dresses or mini skirts, especially during the fall season. They work great for more dressier occasions. If you're wanting classic photos for like fall family photos, I always wear mine on Thanksgiving, for example, date nights. They are just a go-to pair, and I would say out of all of the shoes that I'm sharing in today's video, the knee-high boot would be the first pair that I would recommend to spend a little bit more money on. So when it comes to saving versus splurging, everyone has different price points and things that they are comfortable with. So if you have absolutely nothing, you could always start with a more budget-friendly option. For example, there's great options at Target, Walmart, even on Amazon, or more discounted stores like DSW, for example. I will link up some affordable knee-high boot options, so everyone can find some things that they love in today's video, no matter their budget. And it's totally okay to go for something more budget friendly, because that will also allow you to see how much you end up reaching for something. And if you look back and realize that you wear something over and over again, or season after season, that's definitely something to take note of, and you can start saving up. So over time, you can invest in the future. If you're wanting something in between when it comes to heels, you can also look for something like this that has a narrow look from the side, but it's actually a blocked heel in the back. And this would be an overall great in-between option if you're wanting something that you can dress up or dress down. When it comes to styling knee-high boots, like I mentioned, I love to pair them with dresses. That could be any hem length. So I wear them with short dresses or longer dresses. The only thing is I don't like when there's just like a teeny bit of I want there to be at least some overlap if I'm wearing it with a longer hemline. Otherwise, I do like dresses to be a little bit shorter. Otherwise, I feel stumpy if the dress is hitting right above the knee and then the knee-high boot is just below. Before you order, the most important thing to look at is the description, especially the measurements. When it comes to knee-high boots, we all have different calf widths and lengths that we can go for. So if you are more petite, your most important thing is going to be the shaft height, which is how tall the boot goes up your leg. You don't want them to hit at the knee because that's going to be really awkward to walk in. So it either needs to hit below, or if you're wanting an over the knee boot option, we'll talk about that later. I do believe this version comes in a wide calf as well. For those of you shopping for wide calves, I'll try to find some good options for you as well. And another more minor thing to consider is how to get, actually I wouldn't say this is minor, this is actually pretty important, because you want to be able to easily slip your boot off and on. So a lot of boots will come with a half zip like this, and what that allows you to do is just have a little more of a better angle when slipping your shoe in. And then some boots have no zipper, which I really love the look of, but you have to be able to easily slip your foot in them as well, which I don't have any issues with this style, but I have had issues in the past with other knee-high boots that don't have zippers, and they were a pain to get off and on. All right, next let's talk about whether or not you want to go for a knee-high boot or a bootie. Between the two, I personally get more wear out of my knee-high boots. However, I would also consider a bootie an essential for everyone's wardrobe. When it comes to styling knee-high boots, you can wear them with skinnier jeans, but you can also layer them under wider leg jeans as well if you do not have a boot option. However, the bootie is really great for jeans specifically, but you do have to be careful with the type of jeans or the type of bottoms that you pair them with. I'm personally not a big fan of booties with shorter hemlines. Like, I don't like the skin to show in between because I feel like it looks a little stumpy on me. But I do really like to wear these with like cropped jeans is probably what I wear them with the most often. You can also have them tuck into skinnier jeans. I feel like that is the go-to millennial look. So not the most current on trend style, but I feel like it's totally okay to do. If you're wanting a dressier booty option, then I would recommend leather over suede and just going for a dressier heel. This one definitely leans a little more casual. Just as an example, I have had these booties I got them in 2020, and a little tip on cleaning them up is you can actually use an eraser to buff out spots, but I would also recommend to protect any of your suede shoes with a Scotch Guard. That's gonna make them easier to clean if you do get anything on them, because it's gonna repel, and it will also help waterproof them a little bit, which is why I think these have stayed looking nice over the years. And if you're looking for something more casual, Chelsea boots or lug boots are a great option to consider. This style in particular is waterproof, which is really helpful, especially during the winter season. I wore these recently in Jackson Hole. I know these aren't going to be like my most worn boot style personally, just because I tend to dress a little bit dressier and girlier, but they are a great option if you want to be more casual, or if you're doing a lot of city walking. These would be great as like a winter travel boot option, especially because they are waterproof. Just a note, this style definitely runs big, so I sized down a half size and there's still plenty of room in these. The next option that I would recommend when it comes to boots is a over the knee boot option. Now, I personally wear mine most during the winter season specifically, just because it's nice to have a pair with a little more leg coverage when it is colder. It's a little style hack, especially if you love to wear dresses and skirts during the winter season. These are going to keep you a little bit warmer. And again, depending on your personal style, you can lean into more of a dressier option or a more casual option like this one. These boots are actually waterproof, so another really great practical option. The darker color, you're not gonna have to worry about as much, even though they are suede. They are waterproof, and these are very comfortable. I wore them in New York, London, Paris. I think I walked almost 30K steps in these, so very comfortable. I did do an insert in these, which is another thing to consider when it comes to sizing. In my boots, I like to wear an insert, and to do that, you do need to size up a half size to have room for that extra insert inside. I will be honest, knee-high boots can be a little annoying to shop for, because I can't tell you how many times I have had issues with them dropping down below my knee, and it's so annoying to have to constantly tug them up. I will say, if you're really wanting to invest in a pair, Stuart Weitzman, you cannot beat the quality of their boots, even their flats and shoes. Like, the quality is exceptional. So those will have the best fit, especially if you have more petite legs and you're looking for something that's not going to be bunchy and just a very clean look and fit. Then save up for some Stuart Weitzman boots. You can also find them on sale at like that Stuart Weitzman outlet. However, I have chatted with employees at Stuart Weitzman, and they have told me that it's not the exact same quality. So interesting. I feel like they're still a couple $100, so I would rather spend to get them directly, but that's kind of up to you and your budget. These are not Stuart Weitzman, but I still found them to fit really well. They didn't fit as close up to my thigh, but I did not have issues with them falling down when I wore them, which is definitely key. And I also personally am not the biggest fan of the tie in the back. I do have a pair of Stuart Weitzman boots that I got on sale a couple of years ago, and they have that tie. And the purpose is to make it tight to where it doesn't fall down, but I just find that the tie comes untied very often, and I just prefer the cleaner look like this in the back. When it comes to styling over the knee boots, depending on the type of style you go for, so the pro of having a knee-high boot in your wardrobe is that they're gonna work great for those hemline issues. So like I mentioned before, I don't like to have like a small little gap in between shoes. So what this allows you to do is pair them, like this dressy option would be fabulous with dresses, midi skirts, like it's such a chic look. Great for workwear if you need a dressier option for winter time. And they will also give you a little bit more leg coverage and a little more warmth. And then when it comes to a casual pair like this, I love them with leggings. Like I wear these with Spanx leather leggings, but I also do like to wear them with tights and skirts. Now let's talk about casual options for the fall and winter season. If you want something that will work all year long, a white sneaker is going to be one of your most worn go-to shoes in your wardrobe. I have done a very extensive review on white sneakers on my channel. It is a couple years old, but all of the details still apply. I did that video 2.5 years ago, and this is still my tried and true pair. I tried all different price points, and this pair far exceeded quality, comfort, and durability. Plus they're also very flattering. They have a lower profile, so they work great with dresses. I have worn these with leggings. They're my go-to travel shoe. I wore them in Europe. They're just, you just cannot go wrong with this pair of sneakers. And you can also find them discounted, especially on Amazon. So I will link them to a couple different retailers so you can get the best price point. Out of all of those pairs of shoes, I would consider them timeless, classic, never go out of style type of shoes. And this is the one shoe where I'm kind of like, not the most classic, but at the same time, I have worn Uggs since high school. So I feel like they're kind of here to stick around. So if you need a casual, comfy shoe, I was actually shocked how much I've worn this style of Ugg over the last year. But I feel like you can't go wrong with Uggs. They're not the most stylish and fashionable, although they are currently trendy, and like cool girls can definitely make them look stylish and all that. I don't necessarily style them like that though. I just truly wear them for comfort. So I typically wear my Uggs with loungewear or leggings during the fall and winter. But you can wear them with jeans. I actually did wear them with jeans in Jackson Hole for like a cozy morning. I just had like a slouchy sweater on, some jeans and the Uggs, and it worked, but it's just not my personal style, I guess. When it comes to figuring out your budget and when to save versus when to splurge, I will say my personal take on saving versus splurging is, for one, consider the cost per wear. If you're not sure how much you're going to wear something, go with a more budget-friendly option. See how much you reach for it and style it. And if it's giving you blisters and issues, then you consider purchasing a better quality pair. But if it's just a trendy option that you're just wanting to get, a season or two out of and mix up your looks, stick with the more budget-friendly option. But when it comes to splurging, I think accessories is the best category to invest in overall for your wardrobe. So think handbags, belts, even jewelry like statement capsule jewelry, and shoes would be your best bet for really being smart with your purchases and intentional with your purchases. And I do think it's worth saving up and spending a little bit more on your shoe wardrobe, because not only are they going to be more comfortable from a blister standpoint, more padding on the bottom, just more genuine materials will be more comfortable and more flexible to walk in, but they're also going to last a lot longer. I'm curious to know if there's any shoes that you would consider must-have fall staples for a timeless wardrobe in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. That really helps me with the algorithm. And let me know if you'd want to see a part 2 to this where I show you the best ways to style these staples. In the meantime, check out this video for some more fall fashion inspo, and I will see you very soon in my next one. Bye.